time being 7 p.m., we'll call the meeting to order and rise to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. The first item of business is the public comment section of our agenda, wherein anyone who wishes to address the board can have up to 2 minutes to do so for a total of 10 minutes. Anyone wish to address the board? I guess I should just ask both of you. Either one of you want to address the board? Nope, hearing none. We will move on to the approval of minutes for the county board for October 10th, 2017.
Move approval of the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jacobs, seconded by Commissioner Ward, to approve the minutes of the October 10th county board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. The next item is 5.1, 2, and 3. Acknowledge and receive the approved committee minutes for the Planning Commission of July 27, 2017, Land Records Committee meeting of July 28, 2017, and the Board of Adjustment for August 28, 2017.
I move to acknowledge 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jacobs, seconded by Commissioner Kovesi, to acknowledge and receive the approved committee minutes under 5.1, 2, and 3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. Consent comments and approval of the agenda. Mr. Fritz?
I have done.
Ms. Kovesi?
None.
Commissioner Ward?
One announcement that needs to be added to our calendar, and then an item for future board action, please.
Commissioner Olson?
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Jacob?
Nothing for me.
Assistant County Attorney Stephanie Nuttall?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you. That leaves us with the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
To approve it? Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Kovesi, seconded by Commissioner Jacob, to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. 7, consent business. Mr. Fritz.
All right, I'll read the consent business into the record. Committee recommendation 7.1, approve renewal enterprise license agreement, ELA, for Geographic Information Systems, ESRI software user license. Department recommendation 7.2, approve resolution supporting CASAF 41/26 project and local road implementation program grant. 7.3, approve adding Heart Saver CPR card fee to county fee schedule. 7.4, approve monthly resolution. 7.5, accept Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act grant award. 7.6, approve resolution of Minnesota Voting Equipment Grant. 7.7, approve LG 220 gambling application for exempt permits, Winona Sportsman's Club, Inc., and Winona Root River Pheasants Forever. 7.8, approve data bank statement of work for on-base 17 and E-form updates. 7.9, approve donations received from 7/1/2017 to 9/30/2017. 7.10, confirm payment of disbursements. That concludes the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Was that you, Mr. Olson? Was that you? Yeah. Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Ward, seconded by Commissioner Olson, to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. Under 8, general business, we have 8.1, receive monthly finance and budget update for September 2017.
I'll go through the September numbers. We started in the general fund at 13.4 million. We had revenues of 307,000. Actual expenses were 1.6. Ending cash was 12.1. For the beginning of the year, we had a beginning cash balance of 15.4. We had revenues collected of 9.8 million and expenses of 13.1. Ending cash is 12.1. The variance in the general fund for at this time is a negative 3.3 million compared to last year at a negative 3.9 million. Grand total And variance is a negative 4.5 million compared to last year's negative 5.7 million. I do want to point out that community services is in the negative, almost it's $1.9 million. And kind of why the variance is going down a little bit has to do with the highway. Again, it's the funds that are coming in for this year with highway. Because it's a positive $1 million there. So any questions on this document?
Well, that's only not even a $200,000 variance, though.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the other thing is, but it is $1 million, from in total.
Yeah,
but the
right.
variance is less than 200.
Okay.
Any questions on this document? Otherwise, we'll go to the summary. Cash started at 21 million. Actual revenues were 25.8 million. Actual expenses are 30.4 million. Ending cash is 16.5 million. The same variance was at the bottom of this document. We'll go to the budget. Budget is, we're doing the September budget. We're 75% of the way through the year. Looking at the expenses, everything is under the 75%, except if you're looking at human services, they're running at 82.43 at this point. The one thing that I don't know if you can say it's a positive thing, but I guess it is positive at this point is the interest. We had anticipated bringing 115,000. We're at 120, so we've met the interest. But if you kind of look back at the years of interest that we've brought in the past, this is very small compared to that.
At least we're getting something.
Some interest, yeah.
Not much, so.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
Okay.
Under committee reports, Commissioner Ward.
Yes, two things. One that needs to be added to the calendar, and I'm not sure who all is attending. October 30th is the District 9 AMC meeting, and this meeting is held over in Faribault at 8 o'clock Monday morning. Be there. I will, because I do lead that group, so that needs to be added to the calendar.
You are their leader.
Yes. And the other thing that's come to my attention just recently is a couple letters that one appeared in the Star Tribune, and I believe that got, Mr. Fritz, did that get forwarded to the whole board? That was one where they were interviewing Michelle Piper, who is the Commissioner of Human Services.
Yes, that one did, yeah.
Yeah, and very disappointed in her attitude towards us as counties as far as us having to pay the bill for most of her, her department functions, meaning out-of-home placements and a lot of the human service, social service functions that, the county is the placeholder for. But I was disappointed in her attitude that it's the counties who are not finding places for these people that come out of treatment, and we're spending, I apologize, I had to bring that copy with us. As counties were spending 93 million.
It was 90 million that the article indicated.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then just recently, I also on one of the online things, I saw a letter from the tax chair says cities, counties better not raise taxes, and it's from State Representative Steve Drazkowski, and he is. And this was on the Detroit Lakes Online. He was confident in the tax package and that the cities and counties should not have to raise local levies. And some of his facts are questionable, how he's interpreting his facts. But my whole point in bringing these up is, if you remember last time we talked about at the health conference, is telling our story. I would like support from the board to maybe have Mr. Fritz draft some kind of letter or even invite our local legislators to come in maybe before the end of the year or at least at minimum early in the year to have another conversation with them. Obviously, by some of Representative Drazkowski's remarks and the Commissioner of Health remarks, they don't seem to understand our responsibilities and what we have to do to fulfill the obligations that they mandate to us, and tell us not to raise taxes to fulfill those things. So I guess we have to continue to tell our story. So I don't know if we want to start with just a letter, or if we do want to set something up, because I think Mr. Fritz has done a great job over in Human Services, really kind of targeting some of these areas that are problematic in billing, collecting, and lack of funding to do those things. So I'm just asking what the board would like to do.
In past, the last 2 years at least, and I think before that as well, we had that meeting in January. It was usually like the third week, I think, or so of January. You put together that little forum for the legislators.
Yes.
I kind of assume we would do that again, but I don't know if that meets your needs or not. But
I don't know, what's everybody else think? I think a face-to-face would be, have maybe a little bit more meaning. And with some of these facts that we have, as far as the exact dollar amounts and everything that we Winona County are
Are you
spending.
talking about the end of the year or January?
Well, I suppose to be polite, January.
It's closer to the session.
Yeah. Session
So
starts
you disagree with Drazkowski?
just a little bit.
Well, that's-
Obviously, the link isn't there because
Levy increase.
he's throwing cities and counties into the same boat, but yet we do very different things. Cities get to build, parks and things like that, and where the county has to do that human service function where we have no control of, what the expense might be. And he's indicating that the legislators gave us plenty of money, we should be able to cover those things.
But the problem is in the reimbursement area. We're mandated to provide it, but they don't want to pay for it like
Right.
they used to.
Yes. So,
And
I
that
think
has to drop to the levy.
they don't seem to make that link, though. There seems to be,
Yeah, they're not.
there's something missing there that they don't understand. So again, we have to tell our story over and over again and more clearly. So I guess January would be fine with me, early January.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually do meet with them in early January anyway, I think. So I don't know when they don't go back quite as
Is it a
early.
short
It's
session next year?
February they start, I think, this year. Middle of February
Well,
or
we can
something.
work around their schedule because, and League of Women Voters has the elected officials forum in January too, so.
But we want their sole attention.
I agree, and I'm
And-
just saying they're going to be here for
Yeah,
that, so
yeah.
we should be able to.
But we want their attention, and I think I would like to
we should,
focus on the human service places where we aren't getting adequate reimbursement, and how can we, do these things without raising a
Do you
local
want to
levy.
limit it to that?
Well, I think, again, if we narrow the focus, I think would be good.
Why don't we make sure they have, when this handout is finalized, make sure they have that also.
And feel free to contact them, on your own also. I mean, I think the more we can try and tell our story, where we're at would be good. But this, and I can, Mr. Fritz, did I forward you this letter, this Detroit Lakes Online?
that's the one that Representative Drazkowski.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you could forward that to the rest of the
Okay,
board, please.
okay.
That would be helpful. Thank you. All right.
I don't believe there was anything else. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Mr. Commissioner Jacob, to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries with all voting aye. We are adjourned.
It's not the fastest one of these I've actually sat in on. I think that one was 6
that'd be great.
minutes.
This is just a time.